officially here for the first episode of the Sick Boy podcast. My name is JD Denham. I'm your host. My co-host, Justin Wenzel. Dude, how did we get here, brother? How did we get on the podcast?
Dude, this was a concept we came up with. We had a lot of fun on my show.
Yeah.
And then it was like, well, we live close by.
Let's just do this.
Let's do this.
We were talking this morning, video back and forth, but the cool thing was your response was, yes, man. I'm a yes man. Let's do this, man.
Yes,
That's the type of man that I like to be around, dude. Let's just do big shit.
You want to be around yes and people.
Absolutely.
Not a yes man. Yes and.
Yes and.
Yeah, because the idea of yes and is like you pitch an idea, and instead of being like, well, what if this?
Yeah.
No, it's yes, and then we can do this.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Yes, and then we should try. And that's the type of people you want to surround yourself with.
Compounding on top of compounding.
Yeah.
Well, it's cool too because when you get around certain people, anybody's gonna probably connect to this. All your best friends in life, right? Probably you met them, they were your best friends. Right? That's just how it is. You just instantly connect. And it's crazy how, especially when you get older, I'm 48, you're almost 40, but you learn to push people out quicker because you grow in life. And when you're around the right people, you grow quickly. You feel an energy, and that energy pushes you. It's like you share a brain, that mastermind thing. That law of attraction is so freaking real. So that was, I think that was like the genesis of this whole thing. Like, I've seen you on social media all over, right? You know, long before I was even getting into social media, and I got into it. So you probably started seeing me. We ran into each other at the gym, and now we're on a podcast. Life is rad, dude.
And the parallels are insane.
Yeah.
And just like you said, and maybe it's our age, maybe it's what we've been through in life, but
Absolutely.
like time always tells, right? And so I think, people at when they're less mature, when they're constantly seeking approval, things like that, right? Because when you're in your 20s, like most of your life is spent seeking approval.
Absolutely.
And once you realize that seeking approval isn't really what it's all cracked up to be,
Yeah.
then you start seeking of what you approve.
Absolutely.
And that's a different story. Once you start to be able to seek what you approve and what you want to be around, and you become selective. And on top of that, you realize how much time you've wasted.
Know the truth, baby.
Now it's like not about wasting time anymore. It's about actually finding people that you can grow with. And quite frankly, I guess the best way to put it is save time.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. I was talking to one of the guys that worked with us today, and you're in sales. You know this. What makes a top salesman? Time management. They know how to manage their time. I mean, there's a lot of things, but managing your time. And I just don't give my time to anything that's not pushing me to do better, helping me grow. It's not worth it, man. I'm 48 years old, man. I want to be around people who think big. I want to be around people who do big. And together we do this stuff. Yes, and
you're an extremes person like me.
Very.
Right? And so we've seen both ends of the extremes, right? We've seen how far your surroundings can take you down the extreme end of that.
Yeah.
And people that get to know us will get to know that we've definitely seen that. But we've also seen the extreme abundance.
Absolutely.
And we've been around the extreme abundance, right? So it's almost like, well, we left the one side behind. But anything in between is just not attractive to us.
Yeah, man. It's like, let's go big, baby. Why are you climbing that mountain? Because I can?
Yeah, I don't
because it can be done?
I don't see in mediocrity.
None. No. Yeah, I can't be around it, man. I can't be around it. And that's great for some people. Like if you're, and this is not a knock on anybody that does this. If you want to drive to a job and sit in a cubicle and be miserable, I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying, we're not supposed to be, that's not life, man. We're supposed to seek growth in everything that we do. Better ourselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the problem with that is as much as that's what we want to do is build and things like that, right? There is a level of obsession that you need to embrace. Not only embrace, but act on in order to actually pull that off.
That's the key. Act on. Action. Mm-hmm. What's the difference between successful men and unsuccessful men? Action.
Right.
They just take action. Mm-hmm. I say it all the time. I'm not the most talented guy, but you will not outwork me.
Right.
You won't, because I'll die on this treadmill, baby. Yeah. Like, you're not going to win because, like, that's the cloth that we're cut from. But that's what I'm saying, man. I don't even know, 3%, give or take. I think 97% of the people are just going to settle for mediocrity and just, we're not, guys like us, we're not okay with that stuff. So
No.
that's why we're here. To answer your question, that's why we're here. And the cool thing is, what are we going to talk about? Everything. Everything. I want to talk about success. I want to talk about triumphs. I want to talk about fitness, obviously diet, all the above. And the cool thing is, like we said, we have pretty far reach between the two of us, and we want to hear from people, like, just talk about cool stuff, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, how cool is that?
No.
So on this episode, if you're like me, and I think a lot of people, I think most people that will even be watching this episode or listening to this episode, they see on social media, and that's what they see. But what's behind the curtain, man? What led you to this? So let's dig into that. Let's take a time machine back to your youth, and let's dig into Justin back in your youth. Because most successful men, at least in my experience, and I've talked to quite a few of them, have been through some shit. Regardless if that shit is self-inflicted, it's still shit. So let's dig into that a little bit, man. So tell me a little bit about just kind of the type of kid that you were. Were you, because you're successful, we know that, you're driven, we know that. Was that your same personality back then, or was that cultivated after some destruction?
So my work ethic was always the same. Not in high school, right? But sort of, right? When I started bands, right? Like I worked very hard to like be able to build bands and do stuff with them at a young age, not knowing what the fuck I was doing.
Right.
Figure it out and work really, really hard so we can get the right shows, put the right demos out, things like that, and be able to at least have fun and
flyers everywhere, stickers.
Yeah.
Old school, baby.
But if you go back a little bit before that, I had a dad who was an entrepreneur, but he wasn't at first. So when going way back, I had a dad who was a car salesman, and he wasn't a good car salesman. He'll say it that he sucked. He was terrible at selling cars, but he was very likable and
like charismatic and charming.
Yeah, just a hard worker, a good guy, and was really smart. But he didn't go to college. He went to a pretty inner city high school with a very low graduation rate. Came from a broken home of alcoholics, factory workers, General Motors factory workers in the great state of Michigan.
Yeah.
And he started selling cars really young because my parents had me really young. They got married really young, and so as a young man with a massive son who had an appetite, he had to figure out how so like the first 5 years of my life, I kind of always watched like steady growth and then large leaps of growth. So like, I can't say that I remember this, but I sort of can recall like these situations of us being very, very broke, not poor, but broke, like because in car sales, right? Like it's like feast and famine.
Yeah.
And I can remember there being times where my dad would remind me not to answer the door for the paper boy. And the paper boy would be like rapping at the door, Mr. Wenzel, you have to pay the paper bill. And he couldn't do it. Right. And then eventually he became a finance manager. So when he became a finance manager back in the early 90s, dealerships were doing very well, especially if you worked in finance. So I watched a big transition in our life when, I was about 6, 7 years old, and we like all of a sudden had like a nicer house, still like, in an okay like a nicer neighborhood, but, still in not the best area of Grand Rapids. Back then it was actually nice. Now it's kind of trash. And so then, he decided to go the route of entrepreneurship. He wanted to buy his own company.
Sweet.
And that was kind of when like life all changed. We left Michigan and we moved to Maine. And so, growing up, it was like, I had this dad who like I admired. right? He was like the hardest working guy. He took me around constantly. He would, since I was a little kid, like, when he would take me in the showrooms and things like that, he would make me go up and introduce myself. Like most parents would tell their kids, don't talk to strangers. My dad was like, get the fuck up there and go, go talk to them, introduce yourself.
Oh, wow.
Taught me how to give a proper handshake, look people in the eye, like a very young age. And that was like, I learned networking super, super young. So when we first moved to Maine, I remember, and my mom, and again, like you got to remember, like I remember most of my childhood because I had a fantastic childhood. Mm-hmm. I know a lot of people block a lot of things out, but like my parents, we had a good childhood, even though there was like struggle and growth and my dad being like constantly working and gone and whatever, building. He still always managed to like really show up and show that he cared and be a leader of my family.
Right.
But my mom always reminds me of this, that when we moved to Maine, when the truck was all packed, I put my bike on last, knowing that it would come out first. And when we got to Maine, they opened up the truck, bike drops down. I decided to get on my bike, and I'm like 6 years old. And I'm riding up and down the neighborhood, knocking on every door. Hi, my name's Justin Wenzel. You got any 6-year-old boys that I can play with? Right? Like it sounds weird me saying it now, but I'm a 6-year-old boy, right? Yeah. And I'm like, you guys got any six-year-old boys my age that I can play with? Oh yeah. And soon enough, I met this family, and they had 3 sons, right? The Gendrons. I still remember this. The Gendrons. We lived in Cape Elizabeth, Maine, and their sons were 6, 8, and 9. And I was like, fucking jackpot. Now I got homies. Right? And then the kid across the street was my age. You know what I mean? So now I got like his whole posse. Yeah. And it was like just like going door to door and being like, hey, I just need some friends. I'm new to the neighborhood. That's right. And nowadays you wouldn't even fucking think. Think about like kids that age. Yeah. Like, what are they on their iPads? They're playing Roblox.
I know, dude. Oh, so sad.
So it was like networking was like instilled in me at a very young age.
That's right.
And then moving around a lot too, it was like you had to get in where you fit in.
So do you think that was his foresight? That's what he was trying to lay? Like when he taught you that? Like he was trying to literally lay that foundation within you?
Yeah,
I think he was strategically placed?
Well, yeah. So it's funny because like I think this is a great topic because I think for people listening to this, like and I'm not the guy who like tries to give people parenting advice or anything like that, but looking at the way that I was parented, because I believe that I was parented very well, in terms of being social and being able to like be somebody who can connect with individuals and stuff like that. I think that he was learning it along the way too. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's like when we get sober, right? And as we're going through the stuff, like even in early recovery or we're learning stuff in the gym, we're so eager to give that stuff away. Mm-hmm. Right. Well, here my dad is, he has his firstborn son. My little brother was a newborn baby. Mm-hmm. Right. So like he has his firstborn son and he's working all the time and then he's at home with me. Mm-hmm. So he wants to like pass this stuff down where it's like, you can imagine and now knowing like what a young car salesman went through when they were beginning their career would have been like, a general manager teaching them like how to keep a book of business and introduce yourself to clients and give walkarounds and stuff like that. So he's young, he's excited to learn this stuff. Yeah. So naturally, like that stuff, that work, he's going to bring home.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. What goes in comes out.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you care, right? If you're passionate about your career, right? Then that's going to come home with you.
That's awesome.
Right? I mean, wouldn't you think like you were in mortgages?
100%.
And when you would you'd go to maybe like a speaker event or something like that, right? Like it would gas you up. You'd learn something new.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? And then you want to come home and you want to talk about it.
Constantly. Yeah. Right. Did you know that?
And listen,
the yield spread is.
And the truth is, I've never thought about that until right now.
Yeah. Communication.
That's the reason for this.
It's always been.
So yeah, I think networking and why I'm so passionate about it. I talk about it in my content all the time. I talk about it on my coaches calls all the time. Like, put your fucking phone away when you're in the elevator. You never know who you're riding in it with, and you're just looking at your fucking background. You're not even doing anything.
So like talk to people in the elevator.
Talk to people. Go out and like actually do that because that's what I started doing at a really young age. And guess what? I had no shortage of friends.
That's right.
And that was back when like you wanted a lot of friends, right? Because like you're a kid.
It's true because let's sit there for a second in the elevator. Everybody has a story. I say your story is your sword. Use it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But everybody has a story. I mean, one of my favorite things is, I mean, my grandparents or my grandfathers are both gone, but I'm older now. At the time, I wasn't able to sit with them, but man, I would love to sit with my grandfathers. They were both in World War II, dude. Like, I would love to hear those stories, man. Like, older people have such a story, but like, everybody does.
Yeah.
But if everybody's phones in their face, man. But if you network, you talk, you get them out. It's. I mean, there's a charismatic part that some people have, which you do. So everybody's not like that. But it's good to put yourself in uncomfortable positions and talk to people.
Let's actually talk about this topic. I want to take a break for just a second and talk about the topic of charisma.
Sure.
Do you know the requirements for charisma?
No, I mean, I don't really understand the question. So what do you mean?
Okay. So there's 3 characteristics of somebody that has charisma.
Tell me.
Okay?
No,
because only like 1% of the world has actual charisma.
Interesting.
Okay. And in order to have real charisma, okay, Jay Ferrugia taught me this, and when you really look at it this way, it's so fucking true. The 3 requirements that you must have in terms of characteristics to be a charismatic person, like have true charisma, like room changing charisma.
Okay.
Okay. Power, presence, and warmth.
Power, presence, and warmth.
Yep. So power would be, how does the room shift when you walk in? How do people stand?
That's solid, dude.
Okay. Presence.
Do people notice when you walk in?
Right.
Yep.
Right. Do people stand taller? Do people gravitate towards you? Okay.
Or they go.
Now, this is where a lot of people. Right.
It's an energy.
Exactly.
100%.
Power.
That's right.
Presence. This is where everybody gets this fucked up. Presence means people think that means that like you have to have a big presence.
Yeah, like moxie.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So what? Like explain it then.
Presence is the greatest gift that you can give somebody. To be present.
Listen. That's most people don't.
No.
That is rare.
No. But most people don't have warmth. Do you make people feel safer when you're around them?
Okay, so let's talk about that. Is that something that can be cultivated, nourished, or are you born with it?
So warmth is something that I'm really proud to say that is one of my greatest characteristics. Do you notice that I touch? Like I touch a lot. I hug.
Okay, so let's I do. Okay, so me too.
No, I know.
So is that family?
Yeah.
Because my family was like that.
Yeah. Well, you're Italian.
A lot of people are not.
Right?
Yeah. My mom was Italian, dude.
Yeah.
For sure. Don't mess with their kids, baby.
Yeah.
But
were you like hugged and kissed as a kid and
adored?
Yeah.
But so when I got married, and like you grow up and this is your life.
Yeah.
You think everybody's life is like this. Like I played football, and then when I came home, my family waited for us to eat dinner. We ate dinner as a family. We talked about our day. I mean, obviously there weren't phones at that time, but we talked, we hugged. My dad was always pinching my mom's butt in the kitchen and hugging behind her. Mm-hmm. That's all that I knew, dude. I don't know. That's life. So then when that's
beautiful.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's like so rare. I thought that was like everybody because it's just, that's your family. So then when I grew up and I got married young, because my ex-wife had my daughter early, she didn't grow up with that. So she's upstairs, like she's not cooking. I would work 12 hours at a mortgage company. I wanted to feed my daughter well, so I'd make dinner and sit down and she'd be upstairs, and I'm like, what is going on here? But not a blame. It's just, that's what she grew up with. That's what she knew. You know what I mean? Like at the time it was like, I was pissed, but like, that's an early 20-year-old opinion. Like people are people. Right. They're products of their product. I say that on my channel all the time. Our sons or daughters also, but our sons mainly are products of the product. Like, what type of father do you want to be? Like, be the father you want your son to be. You know what I mean? Like, think through this shit. So your dad taught you that.
Yeah.
Think about the lessons on that, because look at you now. Whether he knew what he was doing or not doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. Like he laid the seed. Like I remember specifically my dad saying, when you shake a man's hand, stand up, look him in the eye, and shake his hand firmly. Mm-hmm. That is so void in today's world, dude. Well, nobody does that.
Well, yeah, because you have one, you have a lot of absent dads, and then two, you have a lot of dads that are it's role reversal, right?
Because the equipment are weak.
Well, yeah. One, yeah, they because, and that's the last thing I was going to say though is that you have a large percentage of men who are unhappy with themselves.
Yeah,
and that's where we come in, right? But at the end of the day, when you have what do they say? Like when the plane goes down, you put the oxygen mask on yourself first. So you have
Yep.
and then listen, it's not, the truth is like, yes, accountability, everything is our fault, even when it's not our fault, but also, the world that we live in, the society that we live in today, it is, one, it's more tolerated and accepted, to be weak. Two,
Be in
there
touch with your
are,
emotions.
yeah, and to be fair, there are more distractions. There are more things that, qualifications and hurdles that men have to go through
Sure.
than they did back when before there was, iPhone, social media, and you
Sure.
know what I mean, and all the
For
things
sure.
that exist today.
Yeah, there's less
Um,
chips stacked in front of every person, for sure.
Correct,
Right.
correct. Now that doesn't make it an excuse.
Mhm.
But you also have to keep in mind that those conveniences also in a way level the playing field. So you have things that work against you, but they could also work for you. It's just a matter of how you
Like
look at
meaning
it.
like thrive in front of these dudes.
Yeah.
Like it's easy to be a savage. Like it's
Well,
easy to be successful in today's world, dude, because like men kind of like are lazy and overweight and mediocre.
right.
I mean, you know what I mean?
So
Right?
so kids might not be getting that level of attention that we received,
Sure.
and it's funny though that you say that, because like I think about, my I've had, I have a couple stories about my dad, but I don't think that he really came from that with his parents, because he came from a
So
pretty
he broke the
broken
mold.
home of, alcoholics. So I think a lot of it was like he wanted to right the wrongs of his childhood. I've heard stories about him, not remembering a lot of his childhood, and or brushing it off and not wanting to talk about it.
Sure.
So I haven't really pushed too hard.
Yeah.
But the way that what I witnessed and the way that he treated me was like, a lot, even to this day,
Mm.
to this very day, there's like, it's a lot of love. It's a lot of hugs. My dad hugs me. He kisses me. He
Yeah.
still to this day,
That's
like
right.
tells me how proud he is of me and
That's
things
right.
like that. Even when I was like fucking up,
Mm.
he still like really fucking loved me.
Yeah.
And so that was there. So the warmth is a thing. So when it comes to warmth, just coming back to that
Yeah.
topic, like, yeah, it's a feeling of safety. There is physical touch involved, and you look at guys, and whether you love them or hate them, like Donald Trump actually has like an incredible amount of warmth when he's with people, and people talk about that all the time. And if you look, even when he's talking, and you can watch his body language, and you can watch how he does, like if he's talking to somebody who's trying to speak up, he'll put his hand on their hand.
I have noticed that.
Yeah. And is that a power play? Of course, but also like you never see anybody be like, right?
Yeah, sure.
You're capable of being able to address somebody with physical touch to make them feel like, hold on a second.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you feel safer.
It's missing.
Yep. So in order to have real charisma, you have to have all three.
That's right.
Real
I've never
charisma,
heard it
power,
broken down like
presence,
that.
and
That's
warmth.
awesome.
A lot of people have power and presence. Very few
Power,
people have
presence,
warmth.
and warmth. Wow. That's awesome. Love it.
And a lot of people have power, but they're not capable of being present.
Okay, so do you, again, back to it, can you cultivate the three? Or sure, obviously a lot of it can be cultivated, but the people that shine and have the true charisma, you said 1%?
Oh, I mean, I don't know that there's a statistic, but how many people do you know that have that?
So can it be cultivated to the degree where it can be nourished and fine-tuned, and someone that's not charismatic become? Or they really born with it, and the true people.
You're talking nurture versus nature, right?
Pretty much. So are they truly born with it, or can somebody has no charisma, that has no power?
I think it is cultivated. I think it is something that you grow up with and learn over time. I think that your surroundings are going to determine, how charismatic you are, or how likable you are, or how receptive you are, or how whatever it is, like being around those people. So if you're around,
it can be nourished, or it can be, kind of poured water on it and like diminished by your surroundings if you're just 100%. Around negative people, or there's a dark energy.
I've been, in homes, including my own like families, whether it's like, a get together with other families that everybody does very well in life and has beautiful families and things like that. And like, they're all very similar, in one of my brotherhoods, I belong to. It's the guys will get together beforehand, and then the wives will come in later on. And the way that all the men stand up when the wives walk in and run to them and make a huge deal over them walking into the room, right? And that's how it is. Even when like you have a few couples together, right? And when you have guests that come over. And the way that you welcome people into your home, right? And like that's like how everybody instinctually goes. Well, you surround yourself around people like that. Eventually, like you're going to be like, okay, this is people. Right. And then look at the homes. Yeah, because look at everything else that's going on. And you're like, oh, well,
think about that. So people that are charismatic, like they got to be somewhat successful because who doesn't want to be around that? Like it's contagious.
Well, yeah, and I think too, when you've really done the work and you really built true confidence, true charisma, and all of that,
liberation.
Well, yeah, and there's less to worry about.
Yeah.
You don't give a
You're fine
fuck.
with you.
Yeah, you don't give a fuck what people think about it. If you're, what's your wife's name? Alyssa, yes. If Alyssa walks in my home and I go up, Alyssa, I'm so stoked to see you. Come over, give you a big kiss on the cheek. I'm excited, whatever, right? Like most people would be like they wouldn't think to do that kind of thing.
I know, for sure. Yeah, it's funny, man. Again, because I was sitting this gal that does some of our sales and like, she's does some of our sales. But she can get better, and so I'm cut from that cloth. I've been done it forever. Like I've just been doing that forever. And I tell her, I said, you can be a salesman and just sell, or you can be a pit bull and get out there and like aggressively find your prey, so to speak. What do I mean by that? You have all these people that, these are your clients now. Call them every Monday, man. Hey, John, how you doing, brother? I just wanted to touch base with you, man. Oh, did I, get him excited, did I tell you we have some new products? Oh my gosh, you don't even know about this. Lift him up, first flatter him, man. You were killing it, flatter him, but then like get him excited and start to talk about other products. You know what I mean? Like connect, get that connection with people. That's how you sell.
100%.
They buy you.
Yep. Everything should start with a compliment.
Always. Do you like sales 101?
Well, yeah, that's how to win friends and influence people too. You also can determine you can direct the behavior of the people around you.
Like how you sit.
Yeah, I love when and even like the conversation and the way things are going. Again, I've spent quite a bit of time with Jay, training men on confidence and stuff like that. And he always says it like this. He's like, I'll hear guys say like, oh, John, he's always so negative about this person and this person. And Jay will say, not around me, he's not. Right? Oh, well, he's always complaining about this, and this. Not around me, he's not.
Like, does he mean that, or he's just saying that, like, kind of like throwing it into
meaning like I don't allow the conversation to go that way with John. So while somebody else is saying like, oh, John behaves a certain type of way, well, Jay will tell you that like the way that the confidence rolls off and the way that you can direct the conversation, make the decision of the conversation, so on and so forth, will not allow room for that.
That's rad.
You can control the behavior of the conversation, the behavior of the person, with the right charisma, with the right confidence and things.
You know what that's called?
What do you call
Jedi shit.
That's Jedi shit.
It's Jedi shit.
That's Jedi shit. I taught my girlfriend this is like we're just going off right now. This is so much fun because I love these topics. And listen, if you guys are listening to this and you're like, what the fuck are they talking about? Well, guess what? We're both, we both do pretty good at what we do. Yeah. And this is all stuff that we've learned from people that have done better than us at what we do. So the Jedi questions. And there's four to 6 Jedi questions.
Okay, tell me.
So the first one, when you walk up to somebody, you want to start a conversation, or you want to get into something with them. You know what the first one is?
Oh, I'm interested though.
What would you think it is?
Flattery.
No. What's on your mind?
That's what you say?
That's the first question. What's on your mind? Safe question, very simple question. And then when they respond,
not threatening, makes them think.
Right? But you're not going to get the full truth right away.
Of course not.
So when they answer that question, you know what the second question is? 2 words.
I don't know.
What else? And then you're going to start to get a little more.
I love it.
Right?
Like engine forward.
Yep.
So it's the third.
What else?
That's the third question
That's the
too.
question.
Okay.
Now this is when it becomes.
Are you guys taking notes?
Yeah.
You're listening to this.
I'm telling you.
Because I wish I was taking notes.
Yeah. This is.
I want to go back and watch it because I want to talk about the 3. Right?
Yep.
This is good stuff.
This is like serious stuff.
No,
this is
like,
really serious stuff.
No, cool.
And I'll break it down for you. So your third question is what else?
Okay.
Okay. Now, if you don't get the real,
what's on your mind?
What's on your mind?
What else?
What else?
Answer.
And what else?
Okay. Yeah. What else?
What's on your mind? Oh man, I'm just kind of going through it lately, and just this month's been really tough.
Mm-hmm. What else?
What else?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I ran into a situation where the bills kind of came in all at the same time, and I'm just kind of, I'm kind of down on myself about not, how funds are going right now.
What else?
What else?
Right. Again, I feel it.
Yeah, my boss cut my hours back, and I'm just struggling with whatever, with enjoyment in life and balancing everything, and I'm afraid my wife's gonna this, that, and that. Well, now you're starting to get the real spill, but you're still not quite there. So what's the fourth question?
What else?
What else? Now, if you, a lot of times after the second what else, you're going to get the real spill, but sometimes it takes a third what else.
Yeah.
Okay. And then
I get it. I totally get it.
Once you get the real spill, is the
now you're at the jugular.
Now you're at the jugular.
We're at the why.
Yep. And how would it be if things were different? Oh,
I love it.
Right. And once you have the vision of how things would be when they're different and better.
So it's kind of like a form of like forced gratitude.
It's straight manipulation.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like it's like
the most positive version of the word of manipulation.
Okay, you're negative, but what if it was better?
Yep. What could
like no look past?
Yeah, what would life look like if this was different?
I love it, dude.
And then it's what would life?
That was 5. So is there 5?
Well, then you have
the last question is
your closing question.
Okay.
Which is what can we do to change it?
Boom.
Yep. Now you're bringing yourself into the situation and there to help.
We can do this together.
Yep.
Love it.
Yep.
I'm gonna definitely watch this over. I like it. I love this stuff.
Those are the Jedi questions, and that literally if you use it properly, and you have the right intention too.
Yeah, of course.
Like if you're going in it to be manipulative and be a fucking cocksucker, well, guess what? You're going to look like a cocksucker.
Well, yeah, you're in the dark. You're on the dark side.
Yep.
You're using the dark force.
And Christina said that to me last night. She's like, "You always say what else?" And then she goes, "Well, hold on a second. You always say, well, what if things were different?" And I'm like so ingrained in me now that you'll hear when you're on calls, like on coaching calls, you'll always hear me go, "Okay, what else?"
I love it.
What else? And I love that. I read that I forget, it was like a communication book that I read a while back, and then I heard a number of people that told me like, "Yeah, oh yeah, I use that too."
That's Rod.
And you just wire that into your brain. What's on your mind? What else? What else? If you need another what else, get another what else.
Yeah.
And then what would things look like if it were different? And what can we do to change it?
I love it. That's right, man.
Disarming.
As we kind of break this down and we're talking about it, one of my favorite sayings is popping in my head, which is Henry Ford. Thinking is such hard business that if it were easy, everybody would do it.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I'm saying that is just people don't think through this shit, dude. You know what I mean? Like if you're someone who isn't charismatic, work on it.
Yeah.
I mean, you might not be like you, but like, you know what I mean? Like those people, just for lack of a better way to say it, just kind of suck, but they suck because they're so negative, dude. But like, work on it. Like if you're overweight and you don't want to be overweight, how do you not get overweight? Fix it. Like action, like read, be around people that are positive. Like it doesn't matter what you do. You just have to take action to get there. Like at least do something.
Right.
Everybody's sitting this little, like, I don't know if it's comfortable because it's probably uncomfortable, but they think it's comfortable because they've been there for so long, just overweight, discontent, and like they're thinking they're comfortable, but it's so uncomfortable. And like when you break out of that, it's liberation, dude. Mm-hmm. Outside of that uncomfortable spot that you dwell in is liberation.
Mm-hmm.
And it's empowerment and it's freedom. Gosh, nobody touches it. There's so few people. Is it like both you and I are both in recovery, so we've been through some shit. And so the people that have been through some shit have seen the dark side, so to speak. So you can see the beauty in the trees because you've seen dark. Now you're like, oh, I remember when I first got sober, I was sitting on the beach. I mean, maybe a couple months, like newly sober. But I truly was trying to be sober. It was true. And I was trying to work on myself and I was like starting to think different and I was trying to grow, man, you know, and I was so sick of being a piece of shit. And I was sitting on the beach. And it was the first time I really realized things were changing. And it was very simple as this. Look how freaking rad this is. Look how this is so beautiful. You know, like I didn't talk like that. I never noticed how beautiful the beach was, dude. I was slamming dope. Man, like, you know what I mean? It's crazy, dude.
Mm-hmm.
It's, gosh, but man, that's just cool. Good conversation, bro.
It's so good.
I could go forever, man.
Oh,
what else you got?
Right. What else? When it comes to human connection, because that's like, well, and it's so funny.
So how do you deal with somebody that doesn't touch? Because a lot of people like you.
Well,
you and I touch like when we met. We're like, "What up, bro?" We hug, right?
Yeah.
So that we can't.
Well, I'm a big hugger, and you're not going to get away from me.
Yeah, me too.
You know,
I hug. Come here.
Yeah.
You know, like you're not going to like come here. You know that little like.
Yeah, I mean, no, I'm the guy that's going to pull you in right away. I'm a hugger.
People are all stiff. Like, have you never been hugged before?
Well, I think people are so like the best word for it is institutionalized, right? I mean, and then I'm not saying
phone in face.
Yeah,
mind the scroll.
And it's like being antisocial, being a recluse, being a loner, being whatever. Like it's almost been glorified like it's a good thing, and it's not a good thing because your life is determined by who you do life with.
Yeah,
and you even see people who proudly wear a brand that's like antisocial blank club, you know, antisocial sober club, antisocial whatever, and it's like, is it isolating why you fucked up and you went down that road?
Yeah, did we do this?
And now we want to go antisocial. It's like, look, man, I get being antisocial when the people you're social with are dirtbags.
True.
But like, you know, when you see people like, it's like this. No one wants to be the first person to start dancing at you know,
when you do,
dance floor, right?
Everybody starts.
And 100%. But if you walked into a room and everybody was dancing and like you thought dancing was weird, like you're gonna sit there for a minute and you're gonna be like,
I'm weird.
Yeah, you're gonna be like, wow, you know, and you're gonna think like, oh, these people are all fucked up. But at the end of the day, the truth is your subconscious is telling you that you're the one that's fucked up.
For sure.
You know, and so. You know, I think, but then the more you walk into those rooms, the more people are inviting you in because most people are going to that are good people. And by the way, most people are good people.
Yeah.
And I think people also get that confused. I think that Ronald Reagan and my dad's a huge Ronald Reagan fan, and he loves the quote, and he's taught this to me since I was a kid: trust but verify.
Yes.
And
I teach my sons that already, dude.
Yeah. And you have to trust, and you have to, and if you don't, like, you're going to have a really miserable life. You're going to have a really fucking miserable life. 100%. So I think so many people like have this like negative outlook on people, that everybody's out to get them, that everything's a scam because they live in scarcity. That's exactly why. Because they live in scarcity. They've never seen abundance.
And that's a mindset.
Yep. It's easy to put up walls when you live in scarcity because you're constantly trying to protect, hoard, and keep shit to yourself. Right, and the truth is, those people turn into bigger monsters than the people that they or the things that they assume people are. Right,
that's a trip.
They dive so far into scarcity, and protection and whatever they have, whatever they can keep their fucking clutches on. They become such fucking monsters because of that, to the point where they will hurt individuals to protect their situation.
Sure. Or you see it all the time, bro. Who are the guys talking shit?
Yep.
Miserable people. Like, what is it? David Goggins. I've never met a hater doing better than me.
Never once.
You know what I mean?
But JD, those are the people that end up the people that they're afraid of hurting them.
For sure.
And it's actually and you see it more and more. The more interactions you have, especially in business, you see that happen.
Absolutely.
Because the rest of us aren't like that. Right? Most people don't sue people. Right? Like most people don't think like everybody's out to get
live and let live, baby.
Right. Most people don't need to get free estimates.
Right.
right?
Right.
It's like most people are like, okay, I connect you. But the problem is people don't think that it's most people. Well, it is.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Which is, and I think once you can finally accept that most people do not live their lives that way, then all of a sudden you feel like the fucking odd one out. And you're like, well, how do I get to be like all these people who are like walking around happy with real friends, with real success stories that aren't miserable, drunk, mediocre, whatever. Well, it's because we don't think like you.
Period. Mic drop. I think that's it. Mic drop, right? We don't think like you. But it takes effort to not think like them. You have to control your thoughts. Like
effort and initiation.
Yeah, effort, initiation, action, all of the above. Thinking through shit. Like, dude, like again, my part of my day is in the morning, pray, read, meditate. But again, it's not meditate. Meditating to me is letting myself think. Why? Your brain thinks rad shit when you let it run, dude. But it's a muscle. You have to let it like run and actually think something. If you want something, the manifestation. Like, think of yourself as you already having it. Like, if you want to be on a plane and it's your plane, you know what I mean? Like, you have to feel it. That takes effort, bro. It's not easy.
So
nobody has the discipline to do that.
100%. So okay. Let's break it down into this, something that you and I can both truly relate to. Okay. Bill W.
Yep.
Okay. The steps and the program of Alcoholics Anonymous. I'm tripping over my words tonight. I haven't had any caffeine. The program of Alcoholics Anonymous is honestly a very, very like it's not the only way to get sober, and leave sobriety completely out of it. But like let's reduce it down to like how do you live your life?
How do you be a good person?
How do you be a good person?
Right.
How do you achieve something? Right. Because for a lot of people, achieving sobriety is the biggest thing that they've ever done in their lives. And that's good. That's great. But take the same principles and apply it to anything.
Yeah.
So let's look at
any type of success. Like, if you want to be successful at sobriety, you got to do these things to get successful at sobriety. If you want to be successful at anything, again, it's action.
Right. Or even like the Holy Bible, right? He only left you basic instruction, or what is it? Basic instructions.
There's a roadmap.
Yeah, there's all a roadmap, right? So look at like one simple concept. You said effort, initiation. Okay, so obviously we effort speaks for itself when it comes to like a program like Alcoholics Anonymous or anything. Yeah. Again, this isn't to promote Alcoholics Anonymous, but I'm just using it in terms of like what we understand. But then the next word was initiation. Okay, and look at what we have to do in Alcoholics Anonymous. Well, we have to reach out to some brothers in recovery.
Yeah.
Right. And look at the difference of network. Right. Exactly. Look at the difference. And when you walk into a room of Alcoholics Anonymous, of all the guys that are thriving, they have like their own sub meetings. Right. People will be like, it's cliquey. Oh, Alcoholics Anonymous is too cliquey. No, it's not. Working. They're all initiating with each other.
Right. Another way to say that, they are networking with each other, right? You know what I mean?
You were instructed to say, hey, reach out to some brothers in recovery, and you got lazy and you didn't pick your fucking phone out and reach out to brothers in recovery. Now all of a sudden you walk into the room and you think that it's cliquey.
Like, you're the dude that goes to the meeting, so good on you. You do that, but you sit in the back, you don't talk to anybody. What do you think is going to happen? Not a whole lot.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Now apply that to everything else. Your business, your workplace, your relationship,
success, everything. Success.
It's always the same. So initiation is huge. It's like, okay, I'm going to this year I'm going to be more social and I'm going to get out there and do stuff. Right? Okay, cool. Do you know what that actually means? That actually means that you have to go out there. And then you can't expect, like, and listen, I understand friendship is a two-way road, but like if you're trying to get into a network where like they already have friends and they're already all doing stuff, you can't expect them to double back to bring you in.
Yeah.
You have to initiate your.
You know how I say that? If you want to get in a certain group of friends, you better have a damn good knock. You gotta like be different, dude. Like, you can't, dude, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta be different.
100%.
Surround yourself. We've talked about it often between us. I think we've talked about on the last podcast, but And we'll wrap this up with this because you and I could talk forever, and I think we will. That's why I was excited about this. We were going to tell your story. We didn't get that far, but anyways.
Well, it's a good way to start.
It's amazing. I love it. The organic, pure conversations. There's nothing better. Nobody does it anymore. They have their freaking phone in their face. But again, circling back, if you are not hanging out with people who have more than what you have, or if you're the smartest guy in your group, if you are the most wealthy in your group, if you have the most of whatever in your group, you're doing it wrong, man. You're doing it wrong. And if you're around dudes that settle for mediocrity, you are doing it wrong. It's not about bank accounts. Listen, bank accounts are awesome. I prefer having like large bank accounts, but right, but it doesn't necessarily yield happiness. It doesn't. Like, what yields happiness from my experience is, first and foremost, helping other people. We are here to help other people. If you feel like shit, you just have to help somebody, right? And when you help somebody, you're in sales. When I'm a salesman and I'm selling a mortgage, and if I sell that mortgage properly, like these people shouldn't do that mortgage. I don't think you should do that. Yeah, I think you should wait. Whatever. You hang up the phone. God's watching that. That's called integrity. So then you pick up the next call. Dude, that's got a $1.5 million deal, baby.
Right.
Well, because you did what was right there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
And those people are
nine out of 10
people are going to come back anyways too.
100%. Yeah. Hey, man, you treated me right, dude. You were the only person that said not to do this. I'm going with you.
Mm-hmm. I think that people need to realize that you need to become the person that abundance attracts.
Absolutely.
And I think a lot of people are like, oh, again, it goes right back to the walls that you put up, the scarcity that's in.
I'm not worth it.
Right. The negative talk.
Mm-hmm. It's the same thing. Like, if you want to attract a woman of substance, you need to be a man that attracts a woman of substance.
Yeah.
It's, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's that simple, man. And everybody just settles for just dating whoever. So they settle all around, man. I think that that's why.
Freddie, what's the time that we're at? Because I can segue into something huge right now.
46.
People, I'm cool, whatever.
Well, I don't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah, no,
but that's right there. It was funny tonight on the 44 core call. This came up. People confuse humility with self-deprecation.
Sure, I see that.
And people lead that way, and they think that being self-deprecating is being humble.
Sure.
For example, this guy, nicest guy you've ever met, right? Blue collar dude, was on my call tonight. He was on my call last week. He ended up signing with one of my competitors, and he's kicking his ass, regretting it, wishing that he signed up with me. That's okay, but I still invited him in, and you know how I am.
Yeah.
But he's struggling with connecting. And right away on the call, he got on and he was like, well, I don't have a big following, and, I'm still kind of learning it, and all of this. And it's like, Doug, that's how you lead?
Yeah. Right.
And I go,
who's going to want to follow that?
Yeah. He goes, well, I'm just not trying to toot my own horn.
Yeah. I get it. That's a good way to put it.
I said, okay, so
fake humility.
Yep, it's fake humility.
Yeah. Ruse.
You're confusing humility with self.
I'm such a nice guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's a good way to put it.
So that's what came to mind right away. Is like, again, like with initiation, with being able to get into those rooms, with being able to do that stuff. Like, you have to carry yourself a certain type of way because we already are.
Absolutely.
We're not going to reduce ourselves to you.
But it does take some cultivation. It does. I do think people are born with it, and they can nourish it to kind of build it up. Gosh, I hate even saying this because it comes off as I hope it's not ego, but like, I've had that ability for quite some time, and when you walk in, people kind of notice, whatever that be, whether it's not nourished or not, because when you're comfortable with who you are, truly comfortable with who you are, you don't give a shit anymore what anybody says.
Mm-hmm. I've watched people grow.
It's an energy.
I've watched people grow into it. You got to remember that I've ran boys clubs my entire life, right? Like showrooms are boys clubs, right? So I've witnessed this, and I've been one of them, right? My entire life since I was a kid, I grew up in a car dealership. So I've watched guys that fit in, got in, became friends with everybody, beers after work, sold a bunch of cars, made a bunch of money together. It was never an issue. And I also witnessed the guys who would hoard all the customers, or who like every customer was his. Constantly
Totally,
was a constant victim. Right.
I lead my lead.
100%.
Yeah.
But that's like the showroom is such a great example of how like men are in the wild, right? And but I've seen people
change,
natured into the life, and that right. But again, it takes that level of effort, initiation, the level of communication.
What's the genesis of that? Integrity.
Yeah. Well, integrity. Yeah, and then also I think good leadership.
For sure.
Because like I said, we're
like
not
a mentor.
Yeah. And understanding. And I think the biggest thing that causes people to become victims is because they don't understand that we are not going to reduce ourselves down to you. We will lift you up to us.
Yeah.
But you have to stand up and start moving in that direction.
Yeah, bro.
We're not going to come down to you. We've already been there. We did that. We don't want to deal with that.
I'm coming down, bro.
Sorry, dog.
You can come up now.
You can come up. We're going to welcome you with open arms.
Yeah.
And me and JD are going to touch you a bunch and make you feel uncomfortable.
Hey, give me a hug.
Yeah, give me a fucking hug. Bring it in. You're not getting away from this one. But that's what people need to realize is that you're not going to and then the truth is if you're confusing humility with self-deprecation, you come in and you're self-deprecating. Well, that's not going to make us want to be around you.
Well,
the guy's so humble, he knocked himself the whole entire time. Well, that's what you think about you. Why would I say
such a guy, bro?
Yeah.
Well, the best part of that and how you conquer that, hang around the people that are going to tell you that.
Right. Well,
that's true love.
Right.
Like, hey, but you're not humble. Like, you tell him that.
Right. 100%.
They truly love you, man. They're going to knock you on your ass. And most people can't take it, but at least, I worked with this manager, dude, before I started running the mortgage company. He was like the guy in front of me, and everybody thought he was a dick. I loved him. Why? He told everybody the truth, man. Like, dude, if you can't take the truth, that's on you, dude. Yeah, like sometimes he could lay it down a little better, but like, I'd be like, hey, man, Lucas, like, should I do this? No, dude, you're acting like an idiot. What are you talking about, dude? That's stupid. Why would you do that? Do this. That's honesty, bro. I want those people around me.
Yep.
Don't tell me that I should do this and fluff me, dude. I ain't looking for apples and peaches and shit. Like, I want the truth, man. Above all else, give me truth.
I love it.
This is great. Yeah, so now you know why we wanted to do a podcast. We were going to talk about Justin's story, but just, this goes where it goes, baby. I love it.
Still the man behind the curtain.
I love it. We'll get to the curtain. We'll get behind the curtain one of these days.
Again, I tell all kinds of segments, and I've told my story on other podcasts, and I think as much as I'd love to sit and talk about myself, my goal is to help other people get better, and see the freedom that we've gotten to see.
You've tasted what is on the other side of it.
Oh my God,
liberation!
I stuck it all in, dude. I have to give a big old fucking hug.
You know what's funny, bro? You ever go to like a hypothetical, like go and feed homeless people, and you don't really want to go, whatever. Then you go and you're like, God, I feel good.
Yeah.
It's available to every single one of us, man. Help other people and don't expect anything in return.
If we don't stop now, we're going to continue to start over and over again.
So,
guys, thanks for tuning in.
Catch you next week.
This is fucking fun.
I fucking love it, bro.